it going? I am down here in Marietta, Georgia at the Dugout Bait and Tackle, one of the largest Hobie retailers in the area, doing some kayak demos, talking kayak fishing, everything that I love, and specifically Hobie kayaks. So I kind of thought I would take this opportunity to make a few short videos and address a lot of the Hobie related questions that I get on a regular basis. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to try to kick a few of these out over the next week or two and hopefully kind of clear up some of the questions that I get and educate a little bit better specifically on Hobie kayaks. Hopefully steer you in the right direction when it comes to making your next kayak purchase. So today what I'm going to talk about, we're going to talk about the PA 14 and the PA 12. The Hobie Pro Angler 14 and the Hobie Pro Angler 12. Get a lot of questions from guys and gals all over the country saying, I had a PA 12 over the PA 14 or vice versa. And with each boat, there are a certain set of pros and cons. And when I'm selling this boat, I make sure and ask a variety of questions to kind of help qualify that customer for the right boat. So before I get into that, let's quickly talk specs on the PA 14 and PA 12 so you can kind of understand the subtle differences there between the two models. All right, let's start with the Hobie PA 12. The length on this one's pretty obvious. This is a 12-foot kayak. It is 36 inches wide. The weight capacity on the PA 12 is 500 pounds. The weight of this kayak rigged is approximately 128 pounds. Keep in mind, this is gonna fluctuate depending on how you rig your kayak. So now let's get to the PA 14. The PA 14 is 13 feet 8 inches long, so a full 1.5 feet longer than the 12. It is 38 inches wide, so you're gaining 2 additional inches in width of the kayak. The weight capacity here is 600 pounds, so a full 100 pounds more than the PA 12. The fully rigged weight on this vessel is 144.5 pounds. Again, keep in mind, this is gonna be dependent on a few different things. Let's talk a couple storage features that are different between the two models. Probably the most noticeable difference is gonna be your hatch size. So this is the Pro Angler 12 hatch size. There's an adequate amount of room, but we're gonna see a pretty drastic difference when we come over here. We come over here and check out the Pro Angler 14 hatch size. So it's almost double the amount of your front hatch storage space up here in the Pro Angler 14. So for those of you that are gearheads, like to take a lot of extra stuff, maybe overnight camping trips, this is definitely going to provide a little bit more room. So then when we come back here to the rear storage, you're going to obviously have a little additional length behind your seat as well. So if you carry a large tackle crate, you're going to have plenty of room for even a big square size cooler in the back of the 14. The 12, some small coolers can definitely go right alongside your H crate, but probably more suited would be a small soft-sided cooler back here. Now let's talk horizontal rod storage. Probably one of my favorite features about the Pro Angler. So the PA 14, you've got 3 slots on each side for horizontal rod storage. I typically will put 2 rods in each one of these, very comfortably carrying 12 rods on my kayak. The PA 12, you're only gonna get 2 slots on each side for horizontal rod storage. So you're missing out on potentially either 2 to 4 rods being able to be stored horizontally on the kayak. All right, so those are the differences that you can see when looking between the two models. Let's talk about a couple of things that you can't see. One being speed. Having a longer kayak typically is going to track better, making the PA 14 just a little bit faster than the PA 12. But with the length, you're gonna sacrifice turning radius. So if you're looking for a boat that's a little bit more maneuverable, your PA 12 is gonna be slightly more maneuverable than the PA 14. When it comes to stability, that added width and just a little bit extra length is gonna make your Pro Angler 14 just a tiny bit more stable. However, both Pro Angler versions are gonna be able to accommodate anglers to stand up very comfortably, even in rough water, and stand while fishing. So other than speed and stability, another big factor that comes into play between these two boats is weight. You know, the Pro Angler 14 is about 20 to 30 pounds heavier. That can be a little bit more cumbersome when you're trying to load and unload. If you're fishing, you know, little tiny creeks and ponds and you have to drag the boat along embankments, PA-12 might be more suitable for that. General things to consider when going between the two boats. The PA-12 is probably a little bit more versatile when it comes to if you plan on fishing real shallow, skinny, moving waters. If you plan on fishing rivers with shoals, whereas the PA-14 is probably better suited for big water. You know, your Lake St. Clair, Kentucky Lake. It handles the big rough water just a tiny bit better than the PA-12, but it is a little bit more difficult to manage on the real shallow, skinny shoals of some of the rivers in the area. Small creeks, small ponds probably don't need the PA-14, and the PA-12 would probably be better suited for you. So I always ask somebody, where do you plan on fishing? How much gear are you taking? I'm a gearhead. The horizontal rod storage, having 6 available areas on that PA-14 makes that boat a no-brainer for me. I like to have a lot of rods stored horizontally beside me, and I can't get as much with the PA-12. Also, if you've got small children, I used to guide back home, and depending on weight, you're able to get 100 more pounds in the PA-14. In both boats, though, you can usually have a small child sit up front or sitting back with you, making it kind of a neat family boat as well for those trying to get young children out on the water. So what it all boils down to is where you're going to be fishing, how much gear you're taking, how maneuverable, how fast, and how stable you want the boat to be. When we're talking price difference, the PA-14 is roughly $150 more. So not that much more money to jump over to that Pro Angler 14. Really making it all about personal preference. The seat is the same, the drive's the same. There is really good storage on the Pro Angler in general. You have to really just decide what little pros and cons on each boat are going to be best suited for your fishing needs. We sell a lot of Pro Angler 12s to guys fishing rivers and faster moving water. It does maneuver a little bit better, and it's easier to lug around, making it an ideal river boat. However, the PA-12 handles just fine on your bigger water as well. We sell the Pro Angler 14 to guys fishing anywhere. Works excellent on those larger reservoirs, works great offshore, larger river systems. The Pro Angler 14 is a pretty versatile kayak. The Pro Angler 14 is the boat that I've been in the last 3 years. It works great for me, but when I do go to those real small, skinny moving waters, I usually jump in a PA-12 or an Outback. So I hope that kind of answers a lot of the questions that y'all had if you're debating between the PA-14 or the PA-12. Both of these are remarkable fishing platforms, and you won't be disappointed no matter what route you go. I hope you can just consider the subtle differences between the two and determine which one is right for you. Good luck out there, guys, and thank you for watching.